So what we have here is the new model from JIANGHUN watch. Just in case you never heard of them, JIANGHUN is a brand strongly related to San Martin, with their aspirations probably best described as it is to San Martin the same as Lexus to Toyota or Audi to VW or Rolex to Tudor. So basically, in my understanding, this watch has to satisfy at least two criteria. First, it has to have an original design, which is challenging but possible to do, and second, it needs to have at least the same or preferably better level of build quality and refinement than San Martin. Not a simple task. So, is this new diver up for this challenge? Well, we have it here. Let's find out. Hello and welcome back! A few months ago I reviewed JIANGHUN first model, a watch inspired and to some degree shaped as a war drum, and while its design and styling did divide opinions, the quality of execution and attention to detail was excellent. Fast forward a few months and JIANGHUN team approached me again with this, to some degree more conventional diver style model, which I gladly agreed to review. Okay, I am saying diver style, however, based on the specifications, it actually is a serious tool watch, as we will see shortly. However, I still do have some questions, and I will get to them too. Now, for full disclosure, JIANGHUN kindly agreed for me to keep this timepiece, and in return, of course, I will share a full review of this watch, tell you what I think about it, and yes, point you to JIANGHUN's website, where you can purchase this watch should you so desire. They don't sell on AliExpress, but they do have a very comprehensive website, and if you are interested in this brand, I strongly recommend to check it out. All the links, of course, will be in the description of this video. So we have here an original design by JIANGHUN, and as far as my first impressions go, I actually really like it. It is definitely a tool watch, a diver, and it does have some serious specifications. We get 300 meters of declared water resistance, a screw-down crown, Lume in all the right places, including on the 3 o'clock marker, and spoiler alert, the Lume is really one of the best I've seen. And we have, of course, here unidirectional bezel with a Lume peep at 12 o'clock. If memory serves me right, all these are prerequisites for the latest ISO diver certification, and while this watch is not certified, it looks like it has all it takes to take on such a challenge. As for aesthetics, well, this watch is well proportioned and it has a sense of elegance about it, with some premium elements scattered everywhere, like high-polished chamfers, multi-link bracelet and some kind of decoration on the crown. However, it is also a tool watch and it does look the part. And as a reminder that this is a diver, we have a three-dimensional pattern on the dial background resembling ocean waves, which does have some vibes of Omega Seamaster styling. Also, this watch reuses the same handset as a GH01 model, although the rest of this watch, of course, does look very different, and I would say a bit more mainstream, and it should appeal to much broader audience. Also, to widen their potential market even further, for extra $40, JIANGHUN offers this model with the GMT complication, which features bidirectional GMT bezel and powered by automatic mechanical movement SeaQ NH34. And while we're on the subject of movements, you might have guessed that this one is actually powered by NH35. And while SeaQ NH35 is a very reliable and robust caliber, personally I did expect a bit more adventurous choice of movement here, especially taking into account that we have already Miyota 9000 series appearing in some San Martin models. I even reached out to JIANGHUN marketing team with a question, and apparently SeaQ movement was chosen here to keep the price in check, which I do appreciate. However, I was also told that JIANGHUN will be considering using Citizen's Miyota 9000 caliber in the future releases, including Miyota's 9075 True GMT movement, so something to look forward to. Still, SeaQ NH35 does come with certain benefits. It is a very reliable movement, it is very affordable to service, actually cheaper to replace altogether if need be, and it has a very smooth crown operation, which most of the times feels even smoother than on more expensive movements. So in terms of dimensions, we have 42mm case diameter, 22mm lug width, 49mm lug-to-lug distance, and case height of 13.9mm as I measured it. A pretty good set of dimensions for a watch with 300 meters of declared water resistance, and a very composed lug-to-lug distance of 49mm and inverted end links should make it suitable for wrists starting from about 6, maybe 6¼ of an inch and up. As supplied, this bracelet should cover wrists up to 8¼ of an inch or 21 centimeters in circumference, and this watch as supplied weighs 188 grams and 174 grams after adjusting it to my about 7-inch wrist. The case is made out of 316L stainless steel. We have longitudinal brushing on top of the lugs and longitudinal brushing on the flanks too. There are high-polished lug-to-lug chamfers running along the sides of the case, giving the stylish case a more elegant look. Now, looking at the crown, there are no crown guards, which gives somewhat vintagey vibes to this case. The screw-down crown has a gear-shaped grip similar to the bezel, and it is decorated with JIANGHUN logo, which is visible inside the glass cover of the crown. Flipping the watch around, and we have a scrolled back case with engraved key specifications and something that looks like some kind of cartoonish submarine. Okay, maybe it is a depiction of a deep-sea exploration submarine. After all, the name of this watch is Deep Challenger. However, I think a JIANGHUN logo would have been just fine. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, we have here 300 meters of declared water resistance, so definitely should be suitable for swimming and possibly even some skin diving. Continuing the purposeful diver aesthetics, we have here 120 clicks unidirectional rotating bezel with lume pip at 12 o'clock position. It looks like the bezel insert is made out of stainless steel with a bead-blasted matte background and high-polished 60 minutes markers. The gear-shaped grip of the bezel slightly overhangs the case and is very comfortable to engage. And here is one of my favorite parts of this watch, the bezel action. On one hand, we shouldn't be surprised because San Martin has some best bezel actions in their price segment and possibly outside of it. However, the bezel action on this watch is one of the best I've tested on San Martin. It is tactile and precise, the resistance is just right, and there is hardly any backplay. The sound is also somewhat different. It is possible that JIANGHUN used some kind of different mechanism here. I'm not entirely sure, but the result is impressive, and here is how it sounds. Looking at the crystal, and we have a slightly domed sapphire crystal here. It is set about a fraction of a millimeter above the bezel. The distortions at even acute viewing angles are minimal, so we can deduce that we're dealing with double dome crystal here. The crystal also has anti-reflective coating applied on the inside, which seems to be quite effective too, because the dial legibility is very good. And talking of the dial, we have a wavy pattern background. It is surrounded by minute chaptering, which is, by the way, lumed, as we will see shortly. We have applied hour markers, including the lumed hour marker at 3 o'clock position next to the date window. The date background is color matched to the dial, nice touch, and the date is also framed following the design of the applied hour markers, which look like tiny frames that are filled with lume. By the way, those frames are also highly polished, which bounce the light and further enhance the contrast of the dial, making it really very legible in different lighting conditions. We have applied JIANGHUN logo under the 12 o'clock marker and the brand name printed below it. The dial is well balanced and definitely not cluttered, and the typography fits the aesthetics pretty well. One thing that did cross my mind as I was preparing for this review was how about putting the model name Deep Challenger on the dial. Most brands do it, think of Rolex Submariner, Mega Seamaster or Tag Heuer Aqua Racer for that matter. What do you think? Would the model name be appropriate on this dial? Do let us know in the comments. And of course, we need to look at the lume. I did say it is good, and it really is. Here is my 15-minute lume test footage, and while you're enjoying this well-applied, long-lasting C3 Super Luminova, do hit that like button and subscribe in case if you haven't already done so. Okay, and the bracelet. Again, it looks like a good amount of effort went into designing this bracelet, and then high attention to detail to ensure a good quality implementation. The integration between the solid end links and the case lugs is very good. The brushing on the case and on the bracelet is almost identical, and the finishing of the rest of the bracelet is really good too. The bracelet tapers down from 22mm down to 18mm by the clasp. The bracelet's solid links are brushed on the top and on the sides, which I like because it will reduce visibility of potentially pretty much unavoidable scratches. We have a nice elegant chamfers on the outside of the links and on the small inner parts of the links too, giving the bracelet a more premium look. The links are connected by screws and the tolerances are very good too. As for the clasp, we have here a fully milled clasp with on-the-fly adjustment mechanism, which is very handy. Now, the clasp has two high polished lines, which kinda continue the visual pattern of the bracelet, which is fine. As a matter of fact, combined with the applied brand logo, I think it looks really nice. I do have one reservation here though. I think these two mirror polished lines will be a bit of a scratch magnets, or getting scratches on the clasp is kind of an unavoidable part of wearing the watch. Well, do let us know in the comments. And here it is on my about 7-inch wrist. It sits fairly flat and comfortable on the wrist, and because of its chunky bracelet, feels well balanced too. So, what's my verdict? Well, I personally really like this timepiece. It has original and, to my taste, very attractive design. From a functional perspective, it ticks all the boxes for me too. It has a date, a countdown bezel that I can use to brew my coffee, and with a sapphire crystal and 300 meters of water resistance, it is a very practical timepiece too. And it is actually priced really well. A well-spec'd original design San Martin will not be much cheaper. What are your thoughts? Well, do let us know in the comments. And I'm pretty sure that YouTube algorithm had chosen the best video for you to watch next. It will be appearing on the screen somewhere around here. Don't forget to like and of course subscribe. Thank you for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.